Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Great, amazing. I know it has been really a long day for you, and really it's just like we're gonna have just like 2 more sessions so that then you can end the day and really be able to apply whatever you have learned today and improve yourself, improve your brand, and improve your business. So today, what I'll be going through with you is tips from Twin. So I'm the community manager for Twin in Asia Pacific. So what do? Is I manage this community called Trendwatching's Inside Network. So what the community do is send us amazing innovations, amazing examples. They spot all over the world to us so that we can have both a global view of what trends that are happening all around us and at the same time a local perspective. So our spotters community has been really great, and today I'll be sharing with you a few tips that you can get from all these spotters so that you can be a trend spotter. So really, it's a secret that we have for today that all of you here, regardless of who you are, who you for, what do you work as, you can be a trend spotter. I know we are risking ourselves going out of business, but really, you can be a trend spotter. So what do you need? What you need is just a tons of curiosity, loads of curiosity. Open your eyes, open your ears, talk to people, really be connected with whatever is happening all around you. Because I believe you here see great innovations every single day. Be it from your Facebook newsfeed, be it from your friends, be it at the street. And this is what we see here in Thailand. So we just landed here in Bangkok on Monday, and we have seen amazing innovation examples. And one of them is literally a store around the corner of our hotel. It's called Camp. So what is interesting about Camp, it might look like just a normal store to you, but it stocks products, fashion, clothing, apparels that is actually being sold online. So it's bringing you the whole online experience offline, which we feel that is an amazing innovation. And I'm pretty sure you've been seeing so many more great innovations here in Bangkok and Thailand. So, but that can be a lot. I know you've seen this is like an avalanche of innovations, and it can be really overwhelming. And if you just like have this scattered, it doesn't really help you in like understanding what consumers behaving, how have we evolved, how have they evolved in consuming your products and services. So the next biggest tip that I'll share with you today is to use a framework. So a framework is really a structure that can help you to plot all the innovations that you spot in a single framework that can help you understand what is happening, what is evolving, and after that, being able to understand your consumers better. So I'll share with you our framework. So this is a framework of 16 megatrends that we use at Trendwatching, and all of the trends that you've seen today from Acacia, from Victoria, are based on this trend framework. So these 16 megatrends are really about the greater change that's happening over time, across the borders, across continents, and across industries. So if you talk about, for example, status seekers, is the macro trend that Victoria mentioned in the beginning of the day of consumer status, how consumer status have evolved over the years. It has been fragmented. It's not just your BMW, it's not your Ferrari anymore. It's what you do. Is it the expensive dining experience that you have on top of the building? Is it that cool cinema experience that you have in the pool that nobody else has experienced? So that is the kind of big shift that we observe from this megatrend. But then the next question is, how then we can use this megatrend to help you understand the trends better from the spottings that you have. So back again to our Twin network, they send us amazing innovations every day, and one of the innovations that we spotted is this innovation. It's from Burberry. So Burberry partnered with Line, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Line is, cute stickers. So what did they do is they live stream a fashion runway in England to all of the line users. And we feel that this is an amazing thing that no brand has done before, especially a luxury brand like Burberry. But then we come back to the trends that we have, and we see that it doesn't fall to any trends that we track. So what do we do next? We come back to our mega trend framework. So from this mega trend framework, we ask ourselves the innovations that we spot, what kind of basic needs does it fulfill? And how does it do it in a different way? So we see that the new innovation talks about you being connected with people, with relevant people that you want to be connected to. So in this case, the Burberry, you are connected to fashion designers and the models there in London while you yourself here in Thailand. And at the same time, it is about solving a problem. So before this, you don't even have an access to all these fashion runways live. And by this partnership, you can solve that problem. And then we start to see more innovation examples that are very similar to this Burberry example. So we see this WeChat city service. So as mentioned, I think throughout the presentation, WeChat is a very popular app in China. So in Shanghai, the government launched a service where you can get all government services from WeChat. So you can pay your taxes, pay your bills, and even book medical appointments with doctors through WeChat, which is, again, the same. It helps you to connect with relevant people, in this case, government or doctors, and it solves your problem. And it's done through the same platform, which is a messaging app. The next example has already been covered by Acacia before. It's a homework guides. It helps you to solve your homework if you're a student. Again, it's pointing us to the same trend about you solving your problem, connecting with the right people, and do it across the same platform of a messaging app. So in Trendwatching, we tend to say trace a trend. So these three innovation examples really signal to us that is this emergence of a new trend. And this is really the time where we celebrate and understand and be happy about spotting a new trend. And this new trend, we call them all on messaging. So this new trend, all on messaging, again, is really about us being able to solve our problems because brands connect us with the right people on a platform that we are so familiar with. So this is actually a trend that we covered last year, and it has now evolved to messaging control that Acacia just shared before. So I hope by now you understand that all the innovation examples that you see can be really overwhelming. But if you use a framework and really ask yourself, what basic needs does it fulfill? How does it do it in a new way? All those clutters, all those messy innovations can speak something to you. It signals the emergence of a new trend, and the overwhelm becomes an opportunity. So let's just put this into practice. So just a little exercise. You can ask yourself, who is your startup crush? So what do I mean with startup crush? A startup is a new product or a new service that you love and have changed your life in the past 1 year. So this startup has really told you that there is a new way to solve your needs, to fulfill your basic needs. So maybe just 5 seconds to think about a startup crush. So let me just go through with you a few examples of startup crushes that we often hear. First is Foodpanda. I hope you are all familiar with Foodpanda. I mean, who doesn't want food delivered like in the middle of the night when you are ravished and just very instantly through your phone get it delivered to your home? So again, it fulfills your basic needs and it does it in a new way that you have not encountered before. Next is my startup crush. It's called Acorns. So what does Acorns do is a startup from the US, and it develops an app that helps you to save seamlessly. So for example, So what does it do is when you do an online shopping, like you go to Amazon and buy a gadget that's like $28.30, it is not a nice number. So what does the app do? It will round up your purchase to, for example, $30, and the difference, they will be credited to your investment account. You don't have to do anything. Everything is done seamlessly. Again, it's a basic needs that you want to fulfill, saving for your own future, saving for your own safety in the future, but it does it in a new way. And lastly, is a startup called Solar Backpack, which is Victoria's startup crush. So it looks like a normal backpack, and when you buy it, you get a cool, trendy backpack. So it looks very bright, very colorful. But what is interesting about this backpack, when you buy it from them, you will also donate one bag to a child in Africa who is studying. So, but the backpack that they receive is different from yours. The bag that they receive will contain a solar panel that is recharged throughout the day so that they can power up their electricity at home and continue studying at home. Again, it's a very cool innovation. It helps you to satisfy that intrinsic need to be altruistic, to help people, to help others in need when you yourself have extra resources. So let's go back to your startup crush. What basic needs does it fulfill? And how does it do it in a new way? So once you answer these questions yourself, you will be able to see how some of the innovations that you see might be similar and point out to the same direction. It serves the same basic needs. It does it in the same new way. And when you are able to find those similar innovations, you got yourself a trend. So again, I think we've shared a framework with you. It's a 16 megatrends. It can be really complex, but why do we do 16 megatrends? It's because we want to understand an overall picture, a very holistic picture that any company across the continents, across industries, can apply to their business. So, but you yourself can build your own framework and choose the few big shifts that are more relevant to you and your consumers. How do you do that? There are two factors that you should take note of. The first factor is human factors. Ask yourself, what are your consumers' basic needs are? From all these basic needs, you see which one will be relevant to your brand, which one you can fulfill very easily. And there's, of course, environmental factors. So this is the greatest shift that is not directly related to your consumers, but of course it affects the kind of behavior that evolve and expectations. For example, increase in transparency, the shift in the dynamics of global economic power. So from these few factors, you pick a few that is relevant to you and your consumers, and you got yourself a trend framework. And after that, you can plot all the innovations that you have spotted online, offline, from your friend, or even working on your own product, and put it in this framework and be able to understand and see the similarities across different innovations and uncover the next, the new, and the novel, and what your consumers are really looking for. So that's the tip bit about framework. I'll just give you a few more practical tips that we have from our spotter. So this first tip is from Florent in France. So he said Fitly is your best friend. So some of you might be familiar with Fitly. So Fitly is this service that helps you to keep updated with the latest news and publications. So it has a comprehensive list of the major publications like Bangkok Post, New York Times, Washington Post, and it also has publications that are more specific to a particular topic, for example, marketing or technology. And you can just follow all of them in this Fitly, and then that makes your spotting so much more easily because it's contained within this one service, and you can follow them very, very easily. And the second tip is from Sabrina in London. What she says is that do what you're best at and collaborate with people who are best at their industry. So it might be a little bit hard for you to understand or to spot all innovations from all industries. So what she suggests is for you to be really good and knowledgeable in your own industry. So for example, if you are working in finance industry, you should know the latest spottings, the latest innovations that are happening in your industry, and then work with people from other industries to know what's happening in their industries. So with this, you kind of have a very deep knowledge of your own industry, but at the same time, you will be able to get a sneak peek and understand what's happening in the other industries. The last tip is from Olga in Russia. So some innovations, I think at the beginning of the day, we talk about how new products doesn't always equal to new innovations. Doesn't always equal to innovation. So I think one litmus test that you can do is to ask your friend, and see whether they are excited as you are. If they are, that means you've spotted a very exciting innovation, and that might signal an emergence of a new trend. So congratulations. I think by now you are a trend spotter. Just the biggest tip, again, is to just keep practice, and practice. The more you spot, the more you track, the better you are becoming a trend spotter. And so what is the next step? So the next step is really, again, practice. And of course, you can join our network, twin.trendwatching.com. And from this network, you will be able to get resources on how to best spot innovations in your place and how to apply all those trends that you track in your own industry. And then you can also be able to be connected to a network of more than 3,000 people across the world. So I hope you have a greater understanding on how you can track innovations and then spot new trends based on that. Let me just give a short recap. So the first tip is really to be curious. Open your eyes, open your ears, and follow and read a lot of publications. Second is to use a framework. Third is to plot those innovations to your framework so that you can understand trends. And lastly is to practice, and practice. Thank you.